Send it?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it now. We're live. I'm gonna send it. Test, test. Well. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the to Disputed. How are you doing tonight, Moody?
I'm doing pretty well. The writer's strike has kind of delayed our show for the last 5 days, but it's good to be back in sunny California.
Indeed. I'll tell you, man. Just give them less. Maybe they'll work harder. But hey, let's not delay the show any further. The people have been waiting. What do you think of the Jean Shorts League in general?
I think the league has created a pattern over the last few years. There's a few guys that like to make a lot of trades, a few guys that don't. What I'm looking for this time around is the guys that make big trades, let them get the first, second, and third round or the third drafts. That way, the guys that don't make trades are going to have to make trades. I'm really hoping we don't see those no trade boys on the first, second, and third pick.
Oh, absolutely. That's a good take. That might make the league a little bit more interesting, even though it's the best league out there. But let's see where it goes. So as we know, we're here in the Jean Shorts League. Now picked up from what we know the new abbreviation of the JSL, the JSL. That's pretty good. But let's hop right into it. So the two divisions. What are the two divisions we're working with?
You know, uh,
Got the Levi's, right?
we got Levi's, and we have the one that has a bunch of number signs in it. What's the other one?
Oh, okay.
Dickies.
Yep, there you go. The Dickies division. So these here are the standings from last year. Last year you have the two divisions, the heavily competitive Levi's division, that was the most competitive over the other one, and then you have the not so important one, the Dickies, right?
Yeah, exactly. We've seen a huge difference between both of the leagues. One had tremendous amount of wins, while the other one was really duking it out for the last uh, bottom four to make it to the playoffs.
That indeed. And then the season closed out with that final bracket where we saw the champion be crowned. What do you think of this new champion?
You know, uh, you just reminded me who it was, and I can't tell you that I'm happy to remember who the champion was, Mr. Sway. I think he's a phenomenal GM.
Absolutely.
I think he's a really tough person to trade against, and definitely even more tougher opponent to play against.
He is indeed. He has definitely brought a competition to this league, one that is hard to keep up with. Do you think he's going to two-peat it?
I think it's bad for the sport if he does. The viewership will probably go down, but I do think he has what it takes.
Sure.
Definitely, the skill is there, but I think the excitement is not something that I think that's something that he's definitely lacking. I love to see maybe Fat Man Sid, maybe Chang Dynasty or Giz make it to the championship.
Oh, for sure. Well, hey, let's congratulations to Sway on his achievement. Let's see if he two-peats it. But let's hop right into it, starting with the Levi's division. The first manager we have is Sway, right? That was our champion there. Followed by that we have the commissioner. And then for the commissioner, what do you think about the allegations?
I think the commissioner is always going to have allegations. I think he's done a really, really good job over the past few years, just really kind of being able to kind of kick people out, right? we had guys, we
Sure.
had guys in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
league, and
yeah,
we shut him up
yeah.
pretty quickly. And then I think the biggest issue we're gonna have this time around is definitely not going to be HR, which usually HR is the case because HR has a definitely an insecurity complex. But I think really Giz Media is going to be the biggest person who's going to really, really give the commissioner a hard time.
Oh yeah, for sure. Next manager you have is Giz. Some would say he's a Billy Bean of the league, but he's unfortunately not able to finish. What do you think about that?
For a guy who has a lot of kids, he can never really complete and finish in the league. He's always number two, and that's a beautiful picture. He's always number two. I personally think he deserves to be number one. I think he plays a hell of a game. He always recruits probably top tier B players and really turns his team into an A team. I think he just had bad luck on his side. I don't think it has something to do about his commissioner style or his management style or who he's recruiting or drafting. And so I really think he's always going to be a tough opponent to face against every single year.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more there. And then you have Huss, one of the most highly touted managers in this league. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to bring in a chip since his 30 years ago. But where do you think he lands this year in the draft?
If he doesn't have any injuries on his team like he did in the past, I think he's always going to be a really strong contender. He's somebody that really makes good trades, big trades. He's a good communicator. I think he gives every manager a place, a seat at the table to make some moves. So I've always seen him as a really quality manager and somebody that really always has a chance, injuries aside.
Wow. Okay. Well, hopefully he has some better luck. Next one we have the Sacco, and just forgive me, Moody. To be fair, I don't think we should spend any time on this bozo. If you want to say some words, feel free.
We're gonna give him one more chance. He's finally local. He's in the coast.
Sure.
So we'll give him one more chance. I think his Sacco punishment this year is going to be just a complete disqualification from the league.
Oh wow! Wow, I wouldn't be surprised. Then we have Ham, also known as the Glizzy King. He's a 2-time. Do you think he'll ever become a 3-time?
I'm not really sure. I think his victories are kind of in the past. He tends to fall in love with certain players that he drafts, and so I think it really depends on who he drafts. If he drafts a quality roster, he's going to make it. If he drafts a shitty roster and overvalues them, he's going to stay, top 10 in the league. So it's really about who he drafts because he definitely falls in love with his players. So we'll see what his draft is going to look like, and we'll decide from there.
All right. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the Dickies division. Starting with the Dickies division, we now move into our manager Sid. What are you thinking of Sid this year?
Sid is a scary character. He's definitely gonna backstab anybody he's gonna trade with. He's always gonna make a trade that's heavily on his interest. I know every manager does that, but anytime you make a trade with Sid, you're never on the winning side. I think he's always a contender. I think it's gonna be really tough for him this year because he's definitely canceled or crossed out a lot of managers on his friend list. So if he can manage to trade with the 3 guys he's still allied with, he still has a chance. But it's definitely going to be a harder season for him.
Wow. Okay. Well, hold on. I think we're getting something. I think you got feedback on the side.
I just realized he's actually local. I'll
Really?
be right back.
Wow. All right. We might just get ourselves a live interview, folks. Let's give my my co-host here a chance to head out to the field real quick.
All right, Roman's there.
One second, folks. He's trying to head out there right now. We're trying to catch him before he heads out. Good opportunity to speak with the runner-up.
All right, we're here.
Okay. One moment, folks.
Look at the phone. No, come look at it. All right, I'm here. You ready?
Yep, we're good to go. Good to go.
Okay, we're with GM Sid in his summer house in Tahoe. North Tahoe, beautiful weather over here. You had a really great 2022 season as a GM who could have won the championship. Just want to know, how'd you feel about last year? Any idea how you can regroup and do better this time around? Any other potential GMs besides your competitor that you lost against that might be sort of a competition for you?
We had a good year. I think we had the best regular season into the championship than any other team. Anytime we don't win at all, it's a failure. That's just what it comes down to, and I expect my team to do the same this year, but win it all. I don't see anybody as competition. I see myself as competition. The guy who won it, he did good. He did good. I give him credit. Where credit's due. But we're gonna go out there and get the belt.
So let's look back at that championship. What stood out in that final moment, that final game?
All I remember is my points were done. My points were high. My competitor, he did good. He did his thing. He had more points. I think 1 or 2 more points than me. can't. I mean, things happen. Things happen.
It sounds like GM Sid's a little scared, not naming the opponent that won the championship.
Never scared. Never scared. Never scared.
What's his name?
Whose name?
The guy that won last year.
What's his name? The new guy.
Moody?
No. The guy who used to GM Ham's team. The guy who won back-to-back.
Moody,
GM as
Sway,
Ham's team. Who won
Sway,
last year?
Sway.
Sway. Hey, you know,
That's
I
what-
swear I forgot.
I haven't heard of him.
All right, so
He's been out
another
of the
question I got for
league.
you is, are there any other competitors that you think are going to stand out this next season?
No, but I do. No, I think it's going to be the same people as always is. You know, I think Ham won't do a single trade for the whole fucking season. I think he'll hold on to someone like Swift the entire year. I think Giz will do his thing. Giz will do his thing. He's always in there. He just can't do anything in the playoffs. He never does anything in the playoffs. I think Tiki will be mute the whole season. I think Fat Man will try to sell me Jeff Garcia for Jalen Hurts and call me a retard for not doing the trade. I think Moody will talk to me like a salesman, a car salesman. He'll send me 45 trades. I'll reject all of them. He'll call me a retard. I think Steph will be last place because it's what he does. Smart kid, doctor, but he's a retard in fantasy.
Let's look at Giz Media. Giz Media looks like he's focused more on the media than he is on sports. Do you think that's going to take a really big impact this year?
I don't think you know that Giz Media and Giz GM are two different
Moody,
people. I think
Moody,
you do your
move
research.
away from Giz Media.
They're two separate entities.
Move away
two
from
separate
Giz Media.
people.
It's too hot. Move away. Move away.
So let's look at this coming year. Are there any sleepers that you might want to tell people about?
Yeah, if I was Ham, I would jump on DeAndre Swift ASAP. First round, Ham. First round. Hold on to that guy.
Is there a certain number you're expecting to have on this round
That's my pick.
as your pick?
No, I don't. You know, I would love to know my pick. I wish the GM wasn't on this. I'm not a tabloid guy. I don't believe in tabloids. But when I see pictures of the GM doing, the commissioner doing what he's doing, while we're sitting here waiting for our draft packets, picks, it's ridiculous. I'm ready. I'm trying to do my research. Let's go, man. I mean, how many 20-year-old blonde chicks can you really hang out with?
Another
It's
question.
weird.
So we were told that the belt changed. Did the belt change?
I don't know anything about that, and I will not comment about it.
So we know the current GM owner, the current winner.
Oh no, folks. Oh, looks like we had a little bit of a interruption there. What are you gonna head back to the studio? See what happened there, folks. Apologize. Our interview got ended abruptly.
Sorry about that. It looks like that wasn't the Sid residence.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh no.
apparently that wasn't his home.
Oh. Okay.
It's sort of like in typical Sid fashion. He wants to look better than he actually is. But
Oh, jeez.
other than that, it was a really good interview.
Okay, well, great. Well, hey, at least we had it. At least when a manager was available, I'm happy to have gotten an interview. But let's move along. Let's move past that. Next one up, we have Tiki, known for his astute way of managing his team. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you think he perhaps maybe improves into this year?
You know, I always got some negative things to say about his team. Usually when it comes to his play style as a manager, really hard to deal with. But you know, he's kind of like Rain Man. Like he's got some kind of real mental ability to succeed. And he showed it last season. I mean, I didn't understand some of the pickups and some of the starting players that he put in on his roster. And sometimes he put some better players on the bench, some of the trades that he made. But somehow he really, really was a tough contender last season. And I think we really got to give him credit. I think he has his own style of playing, his own style of communicating. You know, this is 2022, 2023, so we want to be able to be able-bodied and be respectful for folks of all the spectrums. But I think he's going to be a total contender. I probably think he might be top 4 commissioners of this season.
Wow. Let's see where he ends up. Moving along to Zayd Zizo. He actually was in the league years ago, and then he was. Rumor has it he was kicked from the league, but then some rumors say he quit the league. But he is back, and it seems like he's back with a vengeance.
You know, I'll tell you, him and manager Chang, you know, it's the same quote they always say. They hate us because they ain't us, right? manager Zico, he got kicked out because of a trade that he made with Chang. And then this season, they made a big giant trade for some really big wide receivers and a running back that people weren't happy about. So he left the league with a trade that kind of pissed off the league, and he came in hidden with a trade that pissed off the league. I think he's a phenomenal manager. I think he's easy to reach. He makes some big trades, and as a manager that came in midway through the season, I think he drastically improved that team. I think he's definitely a contender. I think most managers are probably afraid to face him. And somebody who really wants to, put his name back in the league, I think he's going to be a tough contender.
Awesome. Well, hey, the league's happy to have him, from what I understand. But I really want to get into this next guy. This guy was a highly touted guy. He was very feared, and he has his hopes up, but he could just never achieve it. We were able to pull this photo. It was sent to us from a very personal person, but it was sent to us. He's very into winning this belt. He even believes it's his and that other people are using it, but he just can't seem to get it. What do you think about this guy?
Sorry, I'm still waiting for the picture.
Oh, we might have a little bit technical difficulties. Let's give it a moment.
Well, Mr. Fatman, sometimes he trades his way to winning the season, but I think he's a phenomenal competitor. I think he's one of the only managers that really sees blood, sees red every Sunday. You gotta be careful when you sit next to him. I think last year proved that he was able to make a ton of trades and finally get somewhere. So I think this season he's still gonna be exciting for the league. He's still going to be a fan favorite. Will he be a top contender? Probably not. But will he continue to spice up the league, make it exciting, make it a little bit more livable for some of us who get really annoyed with the other managers that don't make any moves? I think that's what makes Fatman special. But I do believe that his heart and his drive can get him possibly to the championship. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, maybe the year after.
Okay, what about his big rival Mox?
I think Mox probably makes a good amount of trades, not the most, not the least, but I think every trade is usually equal or to his favor. I think he's very, very mathematical when it comes to the decisions that he makes. If it doesn't go his way, he will call collusion. But other than that, I think he's definitely somebody people have to constantly watch out for. He's a strong contender. I believe he's going to be probably top 3 this season.
Wow, that's a highly touted, that's a high prediction right there. And then moving into the next and final manager of the league in general is Moody. What do you think of this guy?
I think what Moody does is he tends to make all the moves that he should have made halfway towards the end of the season. I think every season he falls in love with his players. Sometimes they're Packer players, sometimes they're other players, but he tends to make a lot of moves towards the end, show some great recovery and wins, but it's a little bit too late, right? So, I talk to him, every night, and I tell him, this is your year. This is your year. Start making moves early on. Don't fall in love with these players. And he's managed inside and out, right? So I think he definitely is a quality manager. He definitely knows how to make some deals. He definitely has a good cordial relationship with all the managers. I think if he starts early instead of trying to pick up towards week 6, he definitely has a chance. I'll say top 5 this season.
That would be a great achievement. But wrapping those 2 leagues up, we have our 2 divisions. And folks, in case you were wondering why Sway's name is here on our desk, is because as a champ, we wanted to just keep him honored and remind folks of who the champ currently is. But enough said about that. Let's move on to the big thing here. It's time for the draft drawing, Moody. So why don't you go ahead and head out to your draft studio? folks. It's time. It's the moment you've been waiting for. It's time to determine the draft order for the 2023 Jean Shorts League.
Great to be here, boys. This is the 2023 draft from top 12 all the way to 1 for the Jean Shorts League for 2023. We're going to go ahead and go with number 12. He might be a little bit unhappy about this situation, but it's going to be Commissioner Huss.
Wow. That's either a good pick or a bad pick. It depends who you ask, Moody. So we'll see what he does with that. Let's move on to number 11.
I think it's definitely going to be a good pick for him, but we'll definitely see. Number 11. Ooh, this is going to be a tough one. Mr. Sacco himself.
Well, we know where he's going to end up. 2-time Sacco with that pick, huh?
This is going to be his last chance. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, let's see what number 10 brings in.
Number 10, Mr. Humpie, Commissioner Hummy.
Wow.
That's going to be a tough pick for him.
It sure is.
I think once you get to 10, 9, and 8, it's definitely a tough pick, even with a snake draft. Number 9. This is definitely going to make it a more difficult year for Manager Giz. You know, we got Huss, Hummy, Giz, and this next guy. I think my theory about the big traders being 1, 2, and 3, it's not going to happen because number 8, we got Manager Mox.
Wow. What an order. What an order. Let's see what's coming up next.
Number 7, someone do sign language for him. I'm going to hear it. But number 7 is Helen Keller, Mr. Teak Man himself.
Do you think he'll comment on that, or he'll just stay quiet?
I'm not sure. I don't know if we have an ASL person for him, but what I will say is it's definitely a solid number for him. Being in the middle, I think will give him a quality team, and the ability to really make this year really difficult and annoying for the rest of us. All right, number 6 is going to be Mr. Chain, Commissioner Manager Moody himself. This is going to be an okay number. I think being in the middle will also get you a quality team. I think for somebody who's a big trader, it might be able to help him elevate his team a little bit higher as well.
Okay. Doesn't he usually pick towards the middle of the drafts?
You know, last year, that was a very similar number that he got. And I think he's comfortable there. So we'll see what happens. He's never going to get the first pick. Not in a million years. So, number 5, looking at Batman.
Wow.
This isn't also a bad pick for Mr. Fatman because I think he's going to get a really good first pick at number 5. And we'll kind of see if he can pick up the momentum after that. Looking at number 4, we have the 2-time champ. I don't know how he's going to feel about this, but I think it's a quality number and pick for him.
Absolutely. That is
And this is where we get to the top 3.
Wow, here we go. Here we go. Who is left? Who is left?
We know we got Sway, we got Sid, and we got Zayd. I think this is going to be very interesting. I think I don't think Sway deserves this, but he's definitely in the top 3 as well. I think Sid will be a contender, and I think it'll be really exciting to see Manager Zayd get a top spot in the draft position. Number 3 pick is Zayd. Wow, that's a solid pick right there.
That is a solid pick, and I think he's gonna do great things with that pick. He's gonna be a contender for sure.
Definitely, I think he'll bring his. I think he might even make a trade with number 2, who is Sway. Sway loves to trade his first pick, so I think we'll see a swap between Sway and Zayd.
Oh,
Excellent
boy.
pick.
No way. No way. Then that means number one.
That makes number one. Yep, you know, the man that we just interviewed,
Wow.
Manager Sid.
Wow.
And I gotta tell you right now, that makes the league a little bit more exciting. We're not gonna hear the end of it until the draft starts, and I think Jean Shorts went from being a snooze fest in 2022 to really being a party league. So I'm excited. I don't know about you. I got some homework to do at number 6, but 2023 is gonna be my year.
Absolutely. Alrighty then, let's head over back to the desk. And with that, folks, that concludes our show. Thanks for tuning in to Disputed, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.